So, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world, and this evening. Gina's this morning, afternoon,
It's 4:21 p.m.
afternoon. Um, we're having another chit chat, and we don't know what we're going to talk about. So, what would you like? What would you like to talk about? Where should we take it?
Why not talk about one of my absolute favorite things, the birds?
Yeah,
Do you like birds?
I do. I do like watching the birds.
You
Yes, and of
do.
course, your birds will be very different to our birds, of course. So, yes.
Yeah. And you know what brought that up is yesterday because it rained here all weekend last weekend. I shouldn't say all weekend. It rained all day Saturday and all day Sunday. It was a holiday weekend, so we have that Monday attached to the holiday. It was not raining. It was fairly nice on Monday. But yesterday I decided to keep my schedule clear because I wanted to head down south. When I say down south, I'm in northern Jersey.
Mhm.
And I mean, there's great places all over Jersey for birds, everywhere. I mean, you could go to your backyard or you could travel. But one of my favorite spots in New Jersey for the birds, like favorite, is called Edwin Forsyth National Wildlife Refuge. It's an 8 mile loop. Obviously you drive there in your car. It takes me about 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes from my house to get there. And when you get there, it's a huge open space of all marshy land. So isn't exactly bordering the ocean, but it's the bay. It borders the bay, and the ocean is right on the other side.
Yeah.
And it's filled with marsh and it's filled with birds. And it's one of those places where the birds love to meaning during their migration they stop over, so you see a lot of different species. But then you also have the residents that are there all year long.
Is that
Yeah.
salt marsh or is that just ordinary plain water marsh?
Interestingly enough, it's both. They have both
Oh,
the brackish water there and the fresh water. So you see, that's what I
okay.
mean. It's an amazing spot.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it's an 8 mile loop, and you do it in your car, but you stop anywhere along those 8 miles. You could stop a million times, or you can stop once, and you get out. And so it's kind of like in your car, out of your car, in your car,
Yeah.
out of your
Yeah.
car. But
In
you
and out.
drive around
Yeah.
that loop, and it's just nothing but marsh for lots and lots and lots of space and distance. And every time I go, I see sometimes the same birds, sometimes different birds, but I always find birds when I'm there that really catch my attention. That like, oh, something really caught my attention this time. And I'll share about a couple of those, but unless you have something you want to say at this point about
No, no,
birds.
no. It's interesting because obviously I've not been over there, and you're all the birds that sort of stop over and what you have are very so different to ours.
Oh, I mean, we probably share some similar and some different, right? I'll have
Yeah.
to look up. Remind me again, you're in the UK?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna look up your birds and just see how different they are. Well,
Okay.
later.
All right. That'll be
All right.
interesting
But
from your point of view.
one of the and I love birds because I love photographing them, of course, but I love
Mhm.
watching them. I love watching their behavior. And for me, I often think of actually a Bible verse where it says, look to the beasts of the world, meaning the birds, the mammals, just the animals, and watch them. You can't help but see intelligence behind them. You can't help but see God behind them. And that's how I feel when I watch the birds, because the things I see, I'm going to explain one. So I was watching an egret. There's different kinds of egrets. You probably have egrets by you, right? The
We
tall,
do.
waving
Yes. Yeah.
white birds. And
Yeah.
there's different egrets here in the US. This one has yellow feet and the black legs and the beautiful white body. It's
Yeah.
small. It's a smaller egret. But what I loved and found so amazing, and I got probably 300 pictures of, is I was watching it as it stood in the shallow water, and I was watching it hunt for food. And it has, of course, the long bill, and so it grabs what it gets. But what I was noticing is that it would pick up one of its legs, not this high, but I'm just bringing it to the screen to show you, and
Yeah.
it would
Yeah.
shake it like this, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it,
Okay.
so that my guess, I don't know for sure, but so that I'm thinking so all the stuff comes up out of the substrate
Yeah.
of the bottom and
So
then
it's
and then it
moving the silt to get the bugs and the,
yes,
yeah,
but not actually putting its foot down on the silt, but like shaking the water and like
yeah,
it
yeah.
was just it was the coolest thing to watch and it did it
Wow.
over and over and over again. It would shake and then everything the water would start shaking and then it would grab something and then it would do it again. It would lift its leg and it would shake it and then it would the whole thing would repeat over and over. And when I watch things like that, I'm just amazed for this reason. You know how many bird species there are. There's a lot.
Yes.
Every single bird I find and I see, and it's like this for all animals, not just birds, but every single one that I find, they have this really interesting way that they go about getting food,
Yeah.
that they go about surviving. And it's different from the next bird and from the next bird and from the next bird. And I just find that mind blowing. I love that. And I feel
Because
like
they've
it's such
worked it out, how to learn different techniques of fishing and hunting. It is
exactly.
fascinating, isn't it? How they've sort of adapted to things and how they've learnt and taught themselves how to, well, if I stomp my foot, it's going to squash whatever I want to eat. So I won't stomp it, but I just vibrate the water.
Something
It is fascinating.
it is. And I
Yeah.
have to look into it because I'm just guessing that it's doing that to stir up the substrate, but maybe there's another reason that I don't even know. Because one thing I do know is that there are people that study birds. And I when I was in school, I took an ornithology class and it was absolutely maybe I don't know, was it my favorite? It was one of my favorites, probably my favorite class. But there's such an endless amount of literature and studies and observations about birds that you can find out the coolest things. I always
Mm.
remember one of the coolest stories I read in that big, huge, fat ornithology book that we had for that class was of a bird that, you know how sometimes birds get inside of buildings? Like sometimes you go
Yes.
to the store, a big like warehouse type store, and there's birds flying around.
Yes.
Well, a bird had gotten into this office building, and that's where it was staying. And they realized it made a nest out of office materials, paper
Oh,
clips, rubber bands. They're just so innovative. They
yeah.
take whatever. I was actually recently out with taking photographs of a bird. It was a beautiful, not a Baltimore Oriole, but a meadow Oriole. And it was trying desperately to release this caught fishing wire from a dead tree. So I don't know if they do that in the UK by you too, but here, unfortunately, a lot of people who fish, they cut the
Yes.
wire when they're fishing and
Yeah.
they just leave
And
it
they
in the
leave it.
environment.
Yeah.
It's so sad and it's all over the place. So
Mm.
anyway, there was this big tangled mess of fishing wire all stuck in this dead tree stump that the birds love. I mean, when I say a dead tree stump, I don't mean that it's useless. I mean it's bird habitat. But it
Mm.
was trying desperately to unhook. It was all hooked in, and I to go build a nest. I mean, I know that's what it was doing. I didn't see it, but I know it was taking it to go build a nest. But it could not get it free. It was trying and it was pulling and it was going this way and that way and it was contorting its body in all these different ways. And I wish I could have helped it, but there was a little I would have had to step in the water
Yes.
to get
That
to
would
the
have been a
log.
bit, yeah.
And it's not exactly the cleanest water. And so
No.
I decided against it, but I really just wanted so badly to just help it so that it could
Yeah.
get the fishing line. But that's what I mean. Like they take what's around and they use it,
Mm.
you know? And that also helps put things in perspective. Now, while the fishing wire I think can cause a lot of damage for wildlife, in that case I said, "Oh, interesting. So this person left fisher wire behind and this bird was going to use it. Isn't that nice?"
Mm. Yes, it is. That they, as you say, they adapt incredibly well to surroundings. Oh, well, we'll just use what's here. I mean,
That's right.
it makes you wonder, the tiniest little brains that they have. And, they're working all this out. It's
That's
just
right.
phenomenal, really.
It's phenomenal. It really is. Like you
Yeah,
said, they have small heads. They have to have small brains because we know how small their heads are,
yeah.
but they use them in extraordinary ways. Have
Mm,
you ever watched a bird build a nest?
no. On a film I have, but not in real
Oh,
life.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a bird a couple of weeks back. It was a common grackle, which, by the way, are so beautiful when the sun hits them just right. They look all one color. They look all black and like, okay, yeah, it's a bird when the sun's not shining on them, but when the sun shines on them, every color in the rainbow appears. It's so beautiful.
The
I watched,
iridescence of the colors.
yes,
Yeah, we
yes.
have starlings here that are like that.
I think they're beautiful too. In
Mm.
the US, starlings have a bad name because they weren't. I mean, I don't follow these things. That's a whole nother topic for another day. But they call them invasive. They call them non-native to the U.S. And so
Mm.
they kind of get like, oh yeah, the starlings, they're not the ones that people seek out. But starlings are so beautiful. Like you're saying, they
Mm.
have that iridescence. They have all those little speckles, and their vocal range is extraordinary.
Oh, yes. Really quite vast. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're just nice birds. They're mild mannered, I would call them, meaning like they don't flee. Like if you're around, they don't like take off. Some birds
Oh,
will
ours
just.
do here. Yeah, they're a bit
Well, I mean, you can't pet them
skitty.
here. Okay. Oh, really? They are like that by you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say they're very stable around here. Like they just kind of stand their ground, and even if you're at the tree under them, they'll just stay there and they'll keep chirping away. And so I was watching this common grackle build a nest, and I just was taken aback by its dedication, its duty, its perseverance, its focus. It was building it in the top of one of these dead trees, and it would leave, go gather a little bit of stuff in its mouth. It's got no arms.
No.
Little bit of stuff in its beak, bring it to the nest, put it in, go back, do the same. I watched it do that for literally about, I would say, like 75 minutes. I couldn't stay any
Oh.
longer. I had to get back for a call, but I watched it for 75 minutes, and it did that for the whole entire 75 minutes.
How big is this bird?
Oh, the grackle is I mean, I know you don't know how big my hands are. I'd say like a medium-sized bird. It's not tiny like a little warbler or a
Okay.
little sparrow, but it's not big like a hawk. It's somewhere in between.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Okay.
like the size of like a blue jay.
Okay. Yep.
You have blue jays? Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And just to watch its level of, I mean, like think about that. Like it has to build a nest with its beak. I mean, could you imagine building a nest with your mouth?
No. No. Frankly.
I can't imagine it. And it would rotate. Sometimes it would go to the left and pick up little pieces of old branch material, and sometimes it would go to the right and pick up little bits of wet mud from the watery
To
marsh.
bind it all together.
Exactly. And it just
Yeah.
would rotate and go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I got at least 1,000 pictures, maybe a few hundred. And the trouble is always sorting through the pictures when I get home. And there's no problem
Yeah.
taking them when I'm out there because it's just so fun.
Oh, oh, that one's really good. Oh, yes, so is that one. Oh, oh, which ones do I get
Exactly.
rid of?
Exactly. Sometimes I have to say, Gina, stop. Like, just stop. Stop. You have to stop here.
Oh
But I
dear.
have a lot of pictures of that grackle. I'll try to send you one so you can see. I have
That would
so
be
many
interesting
beautiful
to
ones,
see.
but I'll
Yeah.
I'll pick one. I'll pick one. And it was just a remarkable experience of what a bird does in a morning.
Mm. It is fascinating, isn't it? It really
Yeah.
is. Yeah, at the moment, we've got a lot of birds that are fledged. So
Mm.
so I'm guessing it's the same with over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got tiny little birds
So
called blue
cute.
tits.
So, yeah, I don't see those much around here.
Okay,
Yeah.
and robin,
A lot of robins, yeah.
blackbirds.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have
Mm-hmm.
blackbirds
Mm-hmm.
as well? So they're
Yep.
just a bit smaller than a jay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And do you have them like are they you see those nests and the babies in the park or in your yard or you just they're all around
Well,
the
it's in
street
the
or what?
local, so I've got a back garden, small back
Mhm.
garden, so it'd be
Mhm.
a sort of small yard, I guess, and
Mhm.
then there's one beyond that. And last year I had the privilege of them nesting in the nest box that I look out of my kitchen window
Oh,
and could see. So I watched the fledglings all come out.
that's so nice. That's so
Yeah,
sweet. And
yeah.
it's heartbreaking too because I just watch and I mean not blaming the neighbor. I mean I know people need to take care of their properties. Who knows? Maybe the tree was I don't know. I don't know what the story is and I'm like I said I'm not blaming them. I understand things like this have to happen. but they took down this big, beautiful, huge tree that the birds loved. You know, birds have
Oh,
trees that they like love, like
yeah,
some trees they like, it's like, oh, that's a bird tree.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
one of those. It was one of those bird trees, and they took it down 2 weeks ago. I guarantee you there were nests in there, eggs in there,
But
babies in
that's
there.
over here, that's illegal.
That's amazing.
There's
Really?
there's a bird nesting time, I think it's end of March to it's either end of
Oh,
July or end of August, September time,
where
and
you're
you're
not
not
allowed to take down trees?
no.
I
Or
love that.
if they
Yeah,
do, they have to do an arduous check on the tree or the hedge or whatever they're
that's
taking down for
amazing.
nests. And if they find nests or anything like that in there, they're not allowed to take them down.
That's amazing because I was literally like my heart hurt when I saw what they
Mm.
were doing. Like I mean, because think about that. It's like all that time that goes into building that nest.
Yeah,
You lay
yeah.
eggs in that nest. There might even be babies in that nest. Like, who knows if that bird's going to survive another year to have another clutch like that. So,
Wow.
just like devastating because this was, like I said, a big, beautiful bird tree, and
Mm.
it was heartbreaking.
That's
And that's
awful.
exactly what I was thinking. Like, how are there not systems in place to prevent this kind of thing? So I
It
just feel
seems odd that
happy.
there aren't.
No, not here. I feel so happy that at least you're telling me that you have systems like that because to me
We do.
that gives me
Yeah,
hope that
yeah.
at least somewhere someone cares and that
Mm.
potentially that could happen here too at some point.
Yeah, they have to so if there's an a tree surgeon that comes and does
Hmm.
work or
An
somebody wants
arborist,
to
right? Yeah.
yes.
Hmm.
I knew it was a word like that, but I couldn't think of it. They would have to do some rigorous checks to make sure there was no nests or anything like that. And if there were, I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't be allowed to take the tree or the bush or the shrub or whatever it is down until they've
Wow.
gone.
Now I have to look into. I can't say I know for sure that, but I'm pretty positive. But I would be shocked if they had something like that set up here. I don't think they do. But I'm gonna
That's
check now that you
surprising,
said
isn't
that.
it?
Yeah,
Is it?
I don't think so. Mm-mm.
Oh,
Now, I mean, if it was, a protected land or, you know what I
yeah.
mean? If it was like a wildlife refuge, I mean, you can't just take down things there. But
No.
in someone's property here, I highly doubt that that is
Yeah.
a.
That's a
I'm
shame,
gonna look
isn't
into
it?
it. But yeah, that was really, really sad. And then,
Mm.
like that's why I like to talk about the birds too, because I think about like that one place where I saw that grackle building that nest.
Hmm.
That place, it's local. It's an area, it's a little park. It's a little park, and there's kind of like an area of that park that I would consider high use or that people actually use, and then another part of it that's not high use and that
Yeah.
nobody ever go. I'm like the only one who's ever there. And it's because, there's no swing sets there, there's no attractions, there's nothing there except for the
Mm.
wildlife. And that's the part that I always go to. And there's a little lake there, and there's a whole bunch of dead trees. They were trees once. They're definitely set. Like, I mean, there's no still branches, but the trunk is there.
Mm.
And every year I watch the tree swallows, the bluebirds,
Mm.
the grackles, the northern flickers, the eastern kingbirds nest in those dead trees.
Yeah.
And I feel so happy that those dead trees are there and that they're left standing. And
Yeah.
I kind of always have this background feeling like, oh no, I hope the town doesn't at one point decide to care about this park and take those trees down.
So, so the park there then is that classed as just a park or is it a nature reserve?
No, it's a park.
Right. Because we
Yeah.
have nature reserves here. So if there's an area where there's a nature reserve, then that's it. Nothing other than whatever goes in that nature reserve, whether it be bird or beast,
Hmm.
is allowed to be touched.
Right.
So
Yeah, no,
it
it isn't one of those. And
right.
so that's what I mean. And I've seen them. I mean, I've seen the way it's handled. I mean, there's a lot of pesticides and herbicides sprayed at that place. I mean, it's not managed well. And it is heartbreaking. And anytime that I've tried to address it with the people who are spraying the chemicals all over the place, it hasn't gone well. Let's just say that.
Oh dear.
As nice as I have tried to be, like
Yeah,
really honestly, like very, very nice, like not trying to shame or blame, but like let's talk about a better way.
yeah.
It's not gone well.
Oh,
So, yeah, so I think there's some more opportunity for people to understand these natural places better,
yeah.
and that it's vital that we keep this wildlife
Mm,
happy and with a home,
yeah.
because who would ever want to live in a world without the wildlife? I mean,
Well, yeah, there are some places that have very little because of this, that, and
mm,
the next thing happening.
yeah,
It's a shame that there aren't more places, nature reserves, and conservationists doing the work,
mm,
within the nature reserves and trying to save, beast and birds and, so they don't become, no more. I mean,
I know.
we want to keep them going around the world, don't we? We want,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly. We want to keep it going.
Mm.
Exactly.
But it's my goodness me, it's fascinating what you can learn by just sitting watching a bird for 75 odd minutes. And what we can learn from it. We can probably take something from it for ourselves, I
Definitely.
expect.
That kind of focus, that kind of focus.
Yeah,
It's like not only the focus of the bird, but even just giving my focus to watching that experience, right?
yeah,
It helps me focus. That helps me, that helps my stress levels. So
yes,
watching these animals is such a gift,
yes,
and just once you know a little bit about them and where to find them, then
mm,
you can naturally just sit there and watch them
yes.
and learn things, like you said. What
Yeah,
do you
it
take
is.
away from that?
It is.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
I
Thank you
take
so
away from that
much.
too, that I'm glad I have two arms and hands,
But yes.
because
Oh
it
yeah,
must be.
but the thing is we adapt to what we are
I
given.
know. I know.
I was watching a video the other day of somebody with no arms putting socks on.
Isn't that amazing? How they do
They
it? With
just
their teeth?
adapt. They used a towel or a sheet
Huh.
and put the socks on fine, and off they toddled.
Wow.
But it's what that is that's their normal.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
So whatever we see as a disability
Hmm.
or a difference,
Hmm.
that's their normal. It's
Yeah,
not our normal, it's their normal. So that whatever they do with that normal is normal.
that's it. Yeah, and I got used to two arms and hands, so
Yeah.
that's why it seems like it would be so hard to live with just a beak.
Well, yes, I get that. But it's been an absolute joy chatting to you again and learning a little bit more about you, which is the whole purpose of these chit chats, learning more about people. And yes, I'm sure there'll be another topic of conversation that we can hit next time.
Yeah, last time I talked about porcupines, this time it was birds. Let's see what it is next time.
Yeah, it might be grizzly bears. I mean, who knows?
Well, thanks for listening to my bird stories, Carolyn, and sharing
That's all
some of
right. It's
yours.
been a joy. Thank
All
you very
right.
much.
Thank you.